What is up, guys? I decided I want to do redstone, and recently I've been actually coming up with my own designs for different ways to send redstone signals upwards. So I'm gonna just start with a design that I'm pretty sure most people use, and then we'll work from there. I've already known a bunch of designs, but I don't know, maybe I'll come up with a new one. Kind of just want to show it off in this video. So we need glass, redstone, and I'm going to demonstrate this with a piston. I'm going to need this to power it. So I'm going to have this here, and I'm going to start by placing redstone here. Boom. Boom. And one more. And now if I flick this lever, oh wait. Yeah, because the redstone can travel through the glass if it's like through glass like this. We cannot connect, it cannot connect like that though. That is not possible. When it comes to like this, it can connect. I'm gonna fix this real quick. But yeah, it's instant, but of course there's problems. One problem is that maybe you want this to be 1 block wide. Bueno. So yeah, 1 block wide. And one way to do that is, well, it's not going to be instant anymore, but if you want, depending on how tall you make it, it eventually would not be instant anymore because you would have to add repeaters. But, this design is not instant no matter what, but it is smaller. So, I'm going to place that, and then I'm going to place an observer there, which, so when this turns on, the redstone turns on, it powers this observer because the observer detected that it's now on, and then it's gonna power this piece of redstone here, and now it's going to power this observer. This is not my design, by the way. It's a design I saw from another player on on a redstone server. But I guess I'll show it off in this video. But once I get like that high enough, it's, oh wait, no, I'll demonstrate that with a piston as well. Oh, it's way faster on Java Edition. I was up north recently, so I just tested these on Bedrock Edition, and it's way slower on Bedrock Edition. But gosh, that is fast. Oh my god. I guess I did try this out on Java Edition before, but it's been a while. But yeah, but still, there's another design, because let's say I wanted to put another one right next to each other, right next to this, so I'm gonna do that right now. And if yeah, because I want to place it right next to each other, and yeah, and I want to power these separately. But now, first off, now these are connected to each other and not connected to the piston anymore. the piston anymore, and even if it was connected to the piston, since these these pieces of redstone dust are connected, it powers both redstone, and then even if it was connected to here, they would both they would both be connected to the piston, and they would just both be powered. So this is the design I came up with. This is where we start to get to my own designs. Maybe they were made on YouTube coincidentally. Oh wait, no, we don't want to use redstone because redstone interferes with each other. We're gonna have to use observers, of course, still, but instead of redstone, we're going to be using copper bulbs. And hope this works on Java Edition as well. Copper bulb, copper bulb. Where's the copper bulb? Where is it? Where's the copper bulb? I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. But yeah. So this is wax too. So I'm gonna place these, and this is just for decoration. But I'm gonna need a piston. And now, whenever I power this, this will be powered. I will show you with that. So yeah. Oh, this actually stays on like Bedrock Edition. But yeah, I'm gonna place another observer, more observers. Boom, boom. Wait, I'm stupid. And I think this is good enough. Now, I need piston detecting that. And then finally, I need piston detecting that, and then I power up the piston, and now there we go. It's also cool that you could. I also like how you could see the redstone signal travel upward. That's a cool little detail. But you can see these can go right next to each other, and both pistons will not power. So I guess this design does work on Bedrock Edition and Java Edition. So no matter which version you're on, they might act a little different, but overall these pistons will still be powered separately. But I'll make a design that's slightly faster. So I'm gonna need regular pistons for this design. This I'm just gonna use for the decoration now. It's gonna have a slight delay, but we're just gonna ignore that. It's gonna have that. And it's going to power this piston to power this observer. We're just going to power this piston to power this observer. We're just going to power this piston to power these observers. And basically, we're pretty sure this is a faster design because not as much blocks. And yeah. And then this is going to be here. So it uses a pistons to observers to power another piston. And finally do that, and I guess this will just power normal. But yeah, these are the pistons we want to power, and so let's place these both here now. That that is this is larger than this, but if we made it the same size, I this is like this is faster. These are way faster on Java Edition. Bedrock Edition, these Bedrock Edition designs are much slower. This works the exact same on Bedrock Edition. But yeah, all of these, they all work on Bedrock Edition so far, looks like, on Bedrock Edition. Now, I'm gonna make one that uses the piston design, but it adds a redstone block. Basically, just add another block into the mix. But this time, it will require sticky piston. So this is just for the design, of course. So I'm gonna do that, and it's not even gonna require any more observers, just the observer for this design. But if I didn't want this cool design thing, didn't really need the observers here. But anyways, I want boom. Yes, I'm using the scroll wheel. Oh, well, we're just going. Okay, we're just. It's a little wonky. Let's work our way around it. No. Okay, there we go. This is just there, and then I'd place this. Okay, I'm gonna first start with this problem. Oh, shh. Oh. Okay, well, this design does not really work on Bedrock Edition. It looks like on Java Edition. Quasi connectivity. Oh yeah, I think there's quasi connectivity. Oh my gosh. It explains why it's not doing it here, because it's horizontal, not vertical. Okay, this design does not work, but this design does. This last design I'm gonna show. This next design I'm gonna show, not the last design. Well, maybe the last. No, I don't think it's the last design. It is a very, very fast, because it's very. In Java Edition, it might be almost instant, but it's the downside is that you cannot put two right next to each other. But we're just gonna do that. I'm and have that. And a piston can push up to 12 blocks. So we're gonna do. Oh wait, the problem with this is that when it pushes the slime blocks, it's gonna try to push the sandstone below it. So the problem you do to fix that is just place obsidian. It works. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I had to add an extra obsidian block because when it gets pushed, it's going to be on this block. And we'll have to pull back too, eventually. Yeah, we're just not going to do this design. And we're just gonna, we're not gonna add that extra fanciness to that. We're just gonna have it like this, so it's not as confusing. But this last block is a redstone block. And yeah. But after, it should power this. And once it powers this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then redstone block. And then that would go there. We're going to make it like that. Wait a second. Let's make it like that instead. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Boom. And yeah. This is design. It's only going to require 1, 2, 3 piston pushes. And I made this as long as possible. If I made these shorter, it would still be just as fast. This is just as fast, even if these were shorter. But if I made these any longer, I'd have to add another piston, of course, to extend it, and then, you know. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna add this exact same design. Oh wait, I need to add the obsidian. Add this exact same design right here. Wait, we do need this. Okay. I also could just not have any blocks below this, and that should work too. But just, I don't know. But yeah, that's the design, and it's very quick, and it could be much. It could be much longer than this, and be almost instant. If I make this too long, it will eventually I'd eventually have to add repeaters, and eventually it would become slower than this. So when it comes to long distances, this is the best thing. But if you're doing a short distance, this is literally instant. And if you want something as compact as possible, if you're in Java Edition, this is the best design I could come up with. If you also wanted them to be right next to each other. So yeah. This is the best design I could come up with if you want it as close to each other as possible. This design works in Bedrock Edition, but not in Java Edition. But yeah. And this design works in Bedrock and Java, and if they work in Bedrock and Java, they're usually even faster in Java because, well, Bedrock Edition has more of a delay, it seems like. But the thing about this that I like is that you can see the redstone signal travel upward. So yeah. The problem with this, though, is that they cannot be right next to each other. And you might be confused if there's no redstone, or maybe you actually have a... Or maybe you're just using common sense. And if you're using common sense, then congratulations. It's because the slime blocks will pull the other slime blocks and eventually power this. Actually, I think that wouldn't that be too much for the... I don't know. Maybe that would be too much for the piston to handle. But, yeah. That's why they have to be at least a block apart. It would be cool seeing somebody make a redstone computer with this design. They want, like, very fast signals. One design another potential design I'm thinking of, I just do not know how quite how to build it, is that you have, an arrow, let's say, gets launched into a bubble column by a dispenser, and the barrel's just sitting there. Eventually, TNT will launch it very far, and it's just precise enough. It hits a target block. I don't know how you could do that, but maybe some genius redstoner could do that and make it travel like super far, very fast, and eventually maybe even beat this. But I don't know. I feel like this is a fast enough design. Oh my. Yeah, but... And this is even longer than all of these, and still even faster, except for this, but that's because it's short. So it doesn't need any repeaters. But yeah, I just found that very awesome. But, yeah. There's one more design I'm going to make, which... Okay. Which is arguably maybe even worse than all of these designs. But it's just something I was experimenting with. It does actually use arrows. So the arrows would send a redstone signal by using target blocks. So yeah, that's how it would work. Speaking of target blocks, I'm gonna need this, 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 this for the demonstration, like for the signal. This, yeah. Also, need an arrow. Okay, I think this is all I need. Oh wait, I also need a lever. So, boom. Power this. In Bedrock Edition, sometimes the arrow would miss the target block, which makes this design bad. But I don't know, maybe it won't do that in Java Edition. It doesn't do it a lot, but it does it once in a while. And oh, I guess it's actually precise. Okay. I don't know why the arrows are black, but it works. It's way better on Java. Still, yeah. And I could probably separate the dispensers from the target blocks a little more, but eventually I just wouldn't be able to reach. I'm not gonna bother doing that. But yeah, these are the designs, and this is the only one that just does not work in both versions. That one partially works in Bedrock Edition some of the times, but it's random, so yeah. But you can try any of these designs. Don't put these right next to each other, then it won't work. It'll work like this though. But yeah, you can try out all of these designs work. If you, my favorite's that one. It's probably the best design for speed. And if you want to be compact, I'd say this is the best design for that. But yeah, they all have their own problems though. And there's probably even better. There's a good chance that arrow design I'm talking about, since the arrows are actually able to hit their target well and not as random. I don't know if they're even random in Java from the dispensers. They the TNT launching signal thing might work. I find it funny though that if it does work, you need explosives to send the redstone signal. It's funny. I don't know. But yeah. Like I said many times, it's cool how you can see the redstone signal here travel upward. And if you look here, you can see it here too, but it's harder to see. And then of course we just, yeah, you can see it travel upward, but it's not progressive. It is. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and please like and subscribe. And yeah, bye.